get.
I want to.
Mhm.
I'm always in a creative mode, rather by voice, word, or doing jewelry.
Oh,
However, circumstances always. I'm
oh, don't
working
worry
on
about the
some stuff.
circumstances. That's okay. Don't worry about the circumstances. You'll get hold of those circumstances, and they'll start bowing at your feet. That's for sure.
Amen.
Yes, they'll start
Thank
buying at your
you.
feet after
Thank
you.
you for
For
that.
those of you who are in Texas, we are. Um, it's quite a few of you. Obviously, since we're in Texas, the temperatures in less than 24 hours is dropping to 36 degrees. I tell you that not because it is cold. Just the last time this happened in January, we were out of power for over a week. I'm not sure if you remember the winter freeze, but if I were you, I would start saving your bacon grease and putting it in glass jars just in case you need some candles, because we are headed to the possibility of losing more power with the Texas grid. Now, if you're asking me, do I trust my government to get better than the year before? No, I don't trust my government to get better. My government is not in a customer service business. They do not work off commission. They do not have to be innovative. Unfortunately, Ibrahim must always be innovative. He works off commission. He is in the customer service business. Whatever he kills, he must keep. The government just owns stuff. So they, like your doctor, doesn't necessarily have to be on their P's and Q's. Anyway, back to it. I want to talk about Mexit News podcast real quick because I put it up 7 months ago and now it's time to start doing stuff with it. And I have some questions for you. Renee, I'm going to start off with you. Since you are a writer, and hopefully you've taken the advice of Ibrahim and you've chose your writing track that you want to put yourself on. Have you done that?
Yes, and I
Outstanding.
am getting my I have a meeting this morning to get my resume stuff redone because I'm gonna
Most
need
excellent.
that. And yeah, so
Most
I have an
excellent.
appointment this morning.
Good, good. The question I have is what would you like if the world was yours and the world was perfect and you were bored out of your mind and there was one news source you can go to and you were on a 3 hour commute. All right, you got it. Type all that for me, Deanna, so I can remember it for the next person. If the world was yours, you were bored out of your mind, you got a 3 hour commute, and there's only one news podcast you can listen to. That's it. You can't listen to nothing else.
Hmm.
What would you want to experience?
If my mind is idle, I want something, of course, that is going to be entertainment. So I wanna be able to laugh. I also want to be able to something that I'm gonna really be able to stew on, to think on, that's gonna take me to a different level. Also something that also sees me where I am at and where I need to get to. So something that talk about relationships, something that will talk about my my day to day, like someone that is doing caregiving, somebody that is in the shoes, but not necessarily in those shoes, that is in a different place than where I'm at, but they can speak to me on the level that I'm on. Um, I love to laugh. I mean, laughing is great because laughing helps me. Humor helps me to get to a different point, but also something that I'm like, okay, I can remember like a tidbit of information that I've gotten and say, okay, I can use this in my everyday. Because sometimes I think that's one of the things that I love about Mexit it is it connects on so many different points, and it speaks, but it is something different than what we see on television, because it seems superficial and out of touch. And it's like they're all the way up here and they're like, and they don't have any grasp of reality. So I need you to have a grasp on reality, but keep it real and be honest and help me to get to a certain point where I'm trying to get to. So humor is great, but something that's really going to something that right, that's gonna push, but also something that leaves me with like, okay, I want to keep watching. I want to keep redefining myself and getting and increasing. So yeah, something that hits on all those things. And yeah.
I mean, you gave so much good information. I might not need to ask nobody else. You gave me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things, and 7 of them I probably wouldn't have did, to be honest with you. So I'm glad I asked. I'm glad I asked, that's for sure. I'm going to ask a few more people, but let me step back real quick. Arshia, tell me what I'm doing.
You're polling your audience. You're not going for what you want them to know. You're asking them what they want.
Exactly.
Y'all
unmute your mics and clap for the spontaneous queen, Arshia, please. She has it down. Yes.
Go, buddy.
Yes.
Not surprising though, but
Yes. Now I feel you. Now, does it pay me here to be smart? No, it doesn't. It does not pay me to be smart. It pays me to listen to my smart audience.
that part.
As of this recording, it is the 20th day of the new year. And if you catch that, you're going to save yourself from a lot of mistakes, and mistakes 100% always cost money. They either cost you the opportunity as opportunity cost, or they cost you intangible dollars and cents. But mistakes always cost money. Now, on the esoteric thing, there are no mistakes. So you're just spending money to
Preaching. You preaching.
To learn how not to do things again. And that's perfect. That's an investment. But I don't want you to think that right now. I want you to be on the earthly plane here with your feet on the ground. And I want you to understand you don't have to invest in areas that you can just listen. Okay. You can just listen to feel and Susan on Monday and Tuesday and save those personal investments Wednesday through Sunday. Another way to say that is, do you need to know about getting HIV and AIDS and dying, or can you just read a book? You can experience it or you can read about it. One of these things will speed up your process without you having to have the actual experience. You understand what I'm saying? Do you need to actually be poor to understand poverty? Maybe. Should you be poor at 40 just to experience in your 50s wealth? Or can you just read about wealth and remember when you were poor? Don't let the necessary be necessary. Okay? Let's see who else. I'm gonna pick. All y'all sleeping today with your cameras off. Arshia, what about you?
So for me, if I'm getting up in the morning, I like to listen to Ricky Smiley, right? So I like to listen to prank calls like Nephew Tommy, you know.
Jesus.
Not too much of the drama. You know, we don't want that in your spirit. But for me, I like comedy, jokes, pranks. I'm a prankster. That's what I like to listen to. Things I like to listen to now is about entrepreneurship, women in power and men in power. Not the people that already had the money, the people that got it from the mud, the people that they were scared to spend their money, but now that they at the top, They giving out to others and giving experience to other people, sharing how they got their wealth. Um, I would like to hear about the mental health because people don't talk about mental health every day.
No, sure don't.
For men too. Um, how important mental health is, and going to get counseling. Let's make that a norm. Getting counseling, getting help. I would like to know about different foods. So I would like to, okay, when I get on my channel, I want to know, okay, what kind of recipe is hot for this today, or what can I mix in my blender, or something like that, or something funny for me. I always something funny and laughing and moonwalking. I just had to throw that in there.
Mhm.
But for me, always educational, building me up to my highest potential. But I always want to laugh. I always want to laugh.
All right. Yeah, I'm glad I did ask you because somehow you gave me more stuff or outside of stuff than what she said. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much. Who wants to volunteer? Here's the question. If the world was yours and you were bored out of your mind, and you got a 3-hour commute, whole 3-hour trip, and you can only listen to one news podcast, what would you want to experience? Who wants to volunteer? Then we got room for one more, maybe two. What would you don't have to try to be different. Just tell me in your own words what you would want to experience. And I'm saying it that way on purpose. What you want to experience because that's open. And I'm trying to draft you into the interaction experience. Not what you want to listen to, what you want to experience. Anybody?
I'll go.
Okay.
If it was 3 hours, I mean, that's a lot of detail, but I would love to hear some type of astrology forecast for the day or the week or the month.
All righty. Didn't have that nowhere.
I've got something as well.
Yeah. Okay. Let me hear it.
Antonio, I'd like a group of friends that just like, I want a parasocial relationship. I want a group of friends discussing news as we do, like at home. So I'd like a group of friends out of whom just one is the designated news person who knows the news, and the other people are finding out just as I'm finding out. So I want to see those reactions. I want to relate to that kind of discussion without being a part of it.
Absolutely. That's you in my right energy because that is what I want one of the Mexit news shows to be about. That right there. So that is perfect. That is perfect. Good. Fantastic. Well, here's what I have. I write down for you, all of you, what I have. Actually, I'll share it on my screen and I will put it in the chat too so you can have it. This is the feedback I got. Of course, I took your words and translated what you were saying, right? I took what you were saying and truncated it, then translated it. Kind of made it sound better in some cases. In some cases, you made it sound better. Sharing my screen. Wants to laugh, think on a different level. Something that gets her from where she is. That's called escapism. Relationships, news specific, things that are specifically to her. News, I should say, news specific to the working class person is what I should say. In different fields to keep myself remembering that. So if you're a nurse news. If you're a janitor news, right? That's what she said. Expert advice. This was Mexic TV shows. That means take out audio. Let me take the video, put it in audio. Useful and evergreen content to keep watching because Renee says she wants to keep going back to it. And nobody wants to keep going back to something that's going to be irrelevant 24 hours from now. Comedy sections, not too much drama. Include news of women. Arshia didn't say that, but she said that. She said, lately I've been listening to women and things of women empowerment, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Real rags to riches stories. Feel good news. She never said that, but that was the next logical step. for acts of riches, so you need feel good stories. A young man helps an old lady across the street, and 3 kittens give birth at the same time. Things like that. Mental health news, never would have thought of that. Recipes and natural food news, astrology forecasts for the day and month, and Ibrahim ended it with a group of friends discussing news as we do at home.
Can I add one thing to that?
Yep, you showed.
I would like to hear, kind of like how you tell us we suck, I want to hear like you're doing it wrong, player type of news, like doing this program stuff. You're doing it wrong. Let me tell you what you can do to help yourself.
Good.
That kind of stuff.
Good.
I like that.
No, I could do that ASAP. I make a whole podcast about that. Yeah.
Antonio,
Yes.
I also wanted to find out news as far as I'm a senior citizen now. So as far as the seniors, some things about the seniors, like before you told us about how to handle our money and how to do certain things after 50, something for the seniors.
Oh, okay. News for seniors.
And everything on caregiving. I love that. The caregiving.
Everything on caregiving. Good stuff. Sister Booker?
And I was going to add too, kind of the state of the economy.
Oh, Lord, yes. Oh, Lord, yeah. Sure enough. I need to move that all the way to the top.
Because things happen so
specifically
quickly
how
overnight.
it affects the middle class. Yeah, because sometimes it's like they talk about the economy and you're like, okay, well, shoot, I got a paycheck and I can pay my bills. What does that have to do with me?
Yeah, I feel you. Inflation certainly got something to do with all y'all. That's for sure. Yeah. If you ever want to know the state of the economy, pay attention to I got you, Free. Pay attention to 2 things. One in particular, the price of milk. Wow. It is a good gauge of what is happening under your nose that you're like, this, I'm not affected. Yes, you are. Something's happening because look at milk. Just pay attention to it. I think it's like $5 a gallon right now. It's ridiculous. There is no reasonable reason that milk should be $5 a gallon unless, the price of milk has, I can think of 6 different causes. The obvious one, commodity, obviously. So it goes up and down. But then you got to think about gas, crude oil prices. Why? Because that milk needs to be shipped, doesn't it? It ain't shipped to these stores on unicorn vibes. You right? It gets there with some sort of gas. Yes, sir.
When milk is more expensive than chocolate milk, you gotta wake up, because how do you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's other reasons, but plenty more reasons I can name as well. But there you go. The price of milk, even though you don't drink milk, you need to know that there are other things around you that prices have completely inflated, and it's now costing you money. It now costs, the power of your dollar is far weaker than it was just last year. I don't need to go back 10 years. I can go back to last year. Go ahead, Frida.
I would like to see something on there that's kind of futuristic that will capture the audience of the young people, so we can stay in touch with the young people and the young people can stay in touch with us. I don't know how to say that, but something along that line.
No, you just get, okay, well, that was 2 ideas. You just gave me 1 idea. Now, let's see. I put news for young folk. Do that. But you just gave me, I'm reading a couple of books right now on super future. One by Max Tegmark. He wrote one of my favorite books of all time called The Master Algorithm. There are weird people out there like me trying to build the one algorithm to rule them all, which would more than likely, if in the wrong hands, will cause a singularity for sure. If you don't know what a singularity is, maybe I'll explain it to you. And then he wrote another book called Life 3.0. I'm reading that right now. And then my friend that wrote the AI Superpowers, I forget, he's this huge developer, economist, genius guy in China. He wrote this book called AI Superpowers. I read it a couple of years ago. He just wrote another one called 2042. And it's all predicting what the world would look like 20 years from now. So you just gave me an idea that we should have a whole segment on 2042. This is what the world's going to, this is how your industry, your life, etc. Nurses, you will blank in 20 years. Because, yeah. Anyway, let's see. The world, 20 years.
That's a real good way to get ahead of the curve or to stay in the know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I completely agree. And then I just thought of something else too. I need to figure out how to put news that is just specifically for like a marketing university. There's 5 to 10 minute segments of some tip. I'll show you what I mean. There's only one person I could think of that flawlessly does this. It's 1,000 episodes now. It's only one person, Tempest's favorite, Neil Patel. And I'll show you. Share my screen or the podcast. Neil Patel has marketing school. This was his student who became a teacher with him. And they've got, I don't know how many episodes. Let me see. It's like 1,000. Nah, that's not it. Maybe it's. Okay, I have no idea why it's 2, but it says 287. It's way more than this, but whatever. We'll just go with 287. And here you have what to learn, where to learn marketing. This is 2016. How to promote your blog on a tight budget. Best strategies for studying your competitors. How to do effective keyword search. How to write a detailed blog post in less than 2 hours. Tools to help you build and sell you get it, stuff like 7 unorthodox strategies. I need to find a way to add a section like that in and I put it up front too. And I'm gonna tell you why, because this is where you steal. If you want to create super fans, you need to create a quick win for them immediately. When people can listen to you and go, man, I never thought of that. That was real value. I needed that. And the more you can get people saying, I needed that, is the more they keep coming back to you. It just is what it is. I need to do that. And plus, it also differentiated. It's not like Fox News or CNN is doing stuff like that, right? So pretty cool. We'll see. Maybe I can contact Neil and get his permission to put it up there. Who knows? Neil Patel, like segment. There you go. All right, good.
What about science projects? Because I like to look at those science projects, like Discovery Green or the people that say the more you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You're sure right. Okay.
And I have another one. When we have Reggie the weatherman.
Okay, yeah, that's a different podcast. That's the hood weatherman. That's a different part. That's ATS TV comedy skits or something. That's a different podcast. Because Reggie is a nut. All right, thank y'all so much. That's that. The reason why I remember my initial goal was to put the news up. And my initial goal was to take the shows and just put the audio up, take the video, put the audio. And I hated the whole idea, so I just stopped the podcast. It's up. Like when you Google Mexic News, it's the first thing that pops up. I hated the whole idea. Not that I don't want to just check your video, but that should be one episode. I should be uploading, in this case, I should upload 5 episodes a day. The shorter ones. Then, if I talk for an hour, the long one, and then people can pick which ones they want, 5 episodes a day, which will obviously let us grow a little faster because you got 5 episodes a day. Of course, on the back end, there's a lot of dedication that comes with that. But if I'm not disrupting something or finding a new way to do it, I'm not interested. So let me speak to, I'm not speaking to everybody. I'm just speaking to the people who, I was watching Avengers Endgame last night, and somebody said something that, because this is my first time watching it, it took me 4 years to watch it. Somebody said something, so I don't want to spoil if anybody else hasn't watched it, to Thor. And it said, everybody fails at being what they were supposed to be. Time for you. No one fails at being at who they are. So I'm just talking to those folk out there that you keep failing at what you're supposed to be. You know, I stopped the podcast because I knew I was supposed to be putting up news, but Mexit ain't even what it's supposed to be. It is exactly who I am. But therefore, the podcast should reflect exactly who I am. And to simply take content from one place to another place is not me. It's not. I don't even repeat speaking engagements. I don't repeat speaking engagements. So every time you come to me, you're learning something new. So why would I repeat content? Now, I'm not saying content won't be repeated. But
yes, Antonio.
Yeah.
I needed you to say this because you were getting lost Gary Veeing this whole thing. Yes, Gary Vee will take one thing and make 15 different pieces of content, but you're a guy who doesn't even repeat his keynotes, even though that's the easiest thing in the world. You don't do that. So you were getting lost in Gary Vee. Gary Vee has his utility and benefit and all of that, but you're not him. You've got you to do. So I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, I'm so glad.
Because I'm in no position to tell you to do this, right? Because where am I and where you are there's just a whole lot of gaps. So me saying this wouldn't even had that kind of impact. But you arriving to this conclusion yourself that you've got to do fresh stuff.
Yeah.
It's just refreshing. I'm so glad you came to this.
Thank you so much. No, thank you so much. And the crazy thing, I don't know if I remember, I love Gary Vee. I don't know if I remember though. I had said last year, I haven't listened to Gary Vee all year. I still have it. I still have it. I still have it for sure. I mean, I read a few headlines and stuff. I read a few headlines, but I've been in my zone so much. So yes, I'm glad. Thank you for that confirmation, Ibrahim. I don't want Mexit to just be something. I need it to be something crazy. It needs to be so good it costs me time. Y'all get what I'm saying? If it takes time from me and is inconvenient, it is better for the end user experience. The things that you take time on and make better, add the music and add the, just, clear the audio and develop the original section of this and that. That is better for the end user. It is so much easier for me to, in fact, I wouldn't even have to strip the audio. Now that I think about it, I don't even have to strip the audio because I could go to the cloud because we got everything in the cloud. I could download a whole crazy news into one zip folder. That's 50 something gigs probably right now. It could even be more. It'd be 100 something episodes. And I wouldn't even have to strip the audio if I was to just do what most people would do. All I had to do is go Command All because I have a Mac, and then right click, and then it's going to let me change the file, the file name, file extension for everything I highlighted. So instead of, it's going to say .mp4, all I got to do is go to the end, put .mp3, and it's going to say, are you sure you want to do this for all 111 files? And I'm going to say yes. And then now all those are not stripped. They just become audio files now. And then I upload them all in one day or something. But that would be so amazing for me but completely wash away the user experience. There is a strong lesson there. There's a strong lesson there. Some of y'all keep going for quantity when quality is a whole lot better. It's a whole lot better. It's a whole lot better to have 2 dedicated Ibrahims than to have 200 writers from some other place. It's the truth. It's the truth. It is the truth. Whether we like it or not has nothing to do with me, but it is the truth. You know what I'm saying? It is the truth. All right, let me switch gears. So that was Mexit. That was Mexit news. Let me switch gears for yes.
One more thing.
Mhm.
I don't know about like now, but in the future, I would like to see the Mexic graduates, the people that have exit the middle class.
Ooh, that's
Ooh.
good. That's good.
Ooh.
Wow, that's a good one. That's a good one.
And what they did and different advice that they took and said, okay, this is what I did and this is what happened. Ooh.
Mhm.
Oh, I see.
Ooh, putting what you
Yeah.
said.
I
in
smell what
front
you
of
stepping
people,
in.
Junior. Ooh, putting what you have said and taught into visual realization in front of everybody. That's crazy.
That was $1 million idea, Frida. Y'all don't know if you that was a generational idea. That when I'm dead and gone,
Even the
that's
term sticks, you know. Mexit graduates, the term also sticks.
yeah, it does.
Or our success stories.
Yeah. Wow.
Excellent idea.
Michael
Yeah.
Jackson tour line around the block.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, Grace will tell you flesh and blood did not reveal that to you. That was good.
That part.
Yeah, that was good. That was real good. Wow, that was real good. Well, and unrelated news, my registration came in for the car. So I just wanted to say that because it was sitting right in front of me.
Congratulations.
It was sitting right in front of me. It was sitting right in front of me. And we changed those tags today. Good. So that's Mexit. Then we got Mexic graduates. I'm very, very pleased and happy with that. Very pleased and happy with that. I'm looking for, if you can see, did y'all see Deanna's article yesterday? Did y'all see
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I saw it. It was awesome.
Yeah. I'm going to put that on the screen real quick. Put that on the screen. So
Yep, read and shared.
Read and shared. Look at that. I sure appreciate you.
Yes, I did too.
Yeah. She's working on one right now. I can hear her typing. I'm just typing away. I can hear her typing away. But here it is. Mexit. And then 10. Let me blow it up. Oh, let me click it. How about that? How about I go actually in the thing? 10 miracle plants you need to treat over 90% of conditions naturally.
That's good.
And
That's
then,
perfect. Wow, lettuce. I need that every day.
Grace said this first one she need every day. The backyard painkiller, wild lettuce.
And you know what? I have some Vietnamese that live behind me, and I see them out there picking that all the time. And I'm like, I don't know what they're picking it for, but I told them, you're welcome to come over here and get mine. Now I'm keeping mine.
I know that's right.
Wild lettuce.
That's too funny. That is too funny. That's too funny. So yeah, so we're definitely taking that. Tip has got, I think, 1 or 2 cybersecurity articles coming out today. We have, I don't know what Deanna's doing. I plan on pushing out 5 to 6. And then Ibrahim is working on books. So this is a great transition. I know 2 of you all, two have contacted. So let's contact them today. I'm taking the opportunity. If you missed the opportunity yesterday, right now for, I believe I said $999, you can get a book completely ghost written for you. We already showed you yesterday via Google that a ghostwriter on Ibrahim's level is $40,000 to $100,000 or something like that. I forget what I know. It's 40,000 was the minimum. I can't remember what the maximum was. No, so I remember that, but I knew that already. because I'm a writer. I don't like calling myself a writer because I don't think I'm a writer. I write extremely well, but college did that to me. I didn't go to school for writing, and I don't have a passion for writing. My degree, I went to school for, so I have my, what you call it, doggone thing. I have my master's in Christianity and my master's of arts in theological studies. But you can't say, hey, Phil Sorrentino, tell us about God. A, this action. B, no, there's no multiple choice in theology, right? So all you do is you write papers and develop arguments, and you get in trouble when you don't take a opposing viewpoint and then interact with that opposing viewpoint. And while writing, you ain't even supposed to offer your opinion until the conclusion. You're opening an argument, you're developing an argument, no different than a lawyer on either side, right? A defendant or a prosecutor on either side. So that made me a really good writer. I am not a writer. If you look for, I tell you right now, I'm working on 2 nonfiction books that y'all don't even know about. Working on 2 nonfiction titles. One is a 4-part series. One's a 4-part series. And I've been working on it for a long time because I'm not a writer. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not a writer.
Play or movie first? Which one is going to be first?
Well, I've got this. Good question. One of the titles I'm working on is something I like because I got all these books, but I just been I'm like Kanye West. Now that I'm accomplished, I'm kind of just stretching myself. I want to do an album in auto tunes. I want to come out with some sneakers. I want to stretch myself, and I got this. I like things like Heroes of Asgard, Lord of the Rings, Hobbit. I like those when you build a world books, and then that book exists.
Fantasy and world building.
Yes. I'm glad he said that.
Tolkien created a whole language and a whole world, a history book, and then in that world, he wrote a kid's book, a small book, The Hobbit.
Crazy. The Hobbit. Crazy. Timothy, did you want to say something? Oh, okay. Well, you look extra good this morning. Right here, I have a note. I guess the last time I updated was 7 days ago. So last time I updated was 7 days ago. This is for me personally. You understand? This is me personally. I go in this. This has been about 3 years in the making. This is why a lot of stuff around here has just gotten better. I'm doing these things on my own. Public domain stories. But look, right here, this is number 2, how to build a world. So I've been world building. I've been learning how to world build, how to write a noisy log line. I don't have time to explain. Just think Pulp Fiction, and that'll help you out. Think, Pulp Fiction does not go in order. How are scene descriptions written better? 20 best books on filmmaking. And if you go in my Audible, non-linear storytelling, and if you go in my Audible timeline, library, you're going to see a lot of books on screenwriting lately because I've been into that. And all this is secret. You wouldn't know it, but it's up to conversation now. How to write sociological stories and things like that. So I've been studying these things for a while. I guess my biggest advantage is, since I don't think I'm a writer, I work on that craft every day. Since I don't think I am good, I work at it every day. There's no arrogance. The arrogance is never ready. The arrogant are never ready, right? I'm always in the lab getting better because I just think the Ibrahims are running circles around me. So I'm in here every day working on that discipline because you can't beat discipline. Everybody over 50 got me. Y'all will get it when you're 50.
Yeah, you said a lot. Yeah, I couldn't get to my button, but
Yeah. When you get to 50, you'll get it. You cannot be disciplined. Just because you're more talented than me does not mean that you will end up having a better career than me, because talent without putting skill on that talent means very little, and talent without discipline means nothing. It means nothing.
Oh, I got
Nothing,
you,
nothing,
Antonio.
nothing.
I'm in my 30s, but I got you.
You understand. You got to keep going, got to keep going, got to keep going. So one book I'm writing is like The Hobbit. It ain't coming out no time soon. You hear me? It ain't coming out no time soon. And you're like, Tony, it's coming out this decade? Nope. Maybe, I don't know. It ain't coming out no time soon. I tell you that for sure. Because Ibrahim would understand it. I'm struggling with two things right now. There's two things that are holding me up right now. Character names, because you have to, it's not that you got to be creative. You have to create. This is what my research is. This is what that's stuff. You got to, your protagonist and your antagonist. Y'all know what that? Y'all know what those mean? Your it doesn't necessarily mean
you're a good guy and your bad guy.
Yeah. We'll trump it out of that, right? Your protagonist and your antagonist have to have names that are unique but become homemade names, like Harry Potter, Katniss Everdeen. You get what I'm saying? Was Rocky Balboa.
Apollo Creed.
Yes.
Drago.
Yes, right. Thor, Spider-Man, Peter Parker. Yeah, exactly. So I'm struggling with those names right now. Everybody don't need a name, but you gotta have that. You gotta have that. And then the first thing you gotta do when you're writing a story, the first things you have to do is you have to immediately show your protagonist flaws. Immediately. Because nobody outright. And then whoever you're talking about, why? You got to show the flaws in their ordinary world and all that stuff. Why? It's simple. Because nobody wants to follow anybody they can't relate to. Joseph Campbell said there's a story in all of our heads, Hero's Journey. The name of the book is Hero with a Thousand Faces. Joseph Campbell was the one to discover this. We've been telling the same story over and over and over and over again for millennia. Been telling the same story over and over again. So we all have this program hardwired in our head. So that part I got down, but all the other stuff that comes with it, the stuff that Ibrahim could do in his sleep, takes me practice. It takes me practice for sure. That's why I don't have no problem giving Ibrahim props, because I understand his craft, but I also understand his anointing is what the only word I could think about it. He has the anointing of writing. You cannot manufacture anointing.
Amen.
Okay.
Every string,
Amen.
every inch, every pinch.
You ought to have been anointed by God or not. It ain't.
Antonio,
Yes, sir.
you know how when we talk about limiting beliefs in our industry, we often discuss the fact that you're a kid and then you're told by an adult you cannot do this, and then you take it as fact. And that kind of happened with me. Like I was told by our English teacher when I was like pretty young. I was an annoyed kid. I was a backbencher, a class clown. So she got annoyed, and then when you're annoyed, you're resentful and you don't think your words. And she just basically said that if you get an A grade in your O-level exams, right, 10th grade basically, in board exams, then I'm gonna resign. She literally said that I was that bad at English, and guess what? I didn't have that Michael Jordan reaction of I'm gonna prove her wrong. I was like, okay, who cares, whatever she thinks. And I just went on with my life. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even try anything. And then when I got my results, I was like, wait, I got an A. And I just walked up to her. I was like, didn't you say that you were going to resign? The thing is, I didn't even try. So, and for so long, I had been ignoring the gift of how I have a way with words for far too long. And I started far too late. actually in this industry. But I'm glad to catch up, and I'm looking forward to keeping up. So challengers like you are welcome.
Yeah, buddy, I got you. Well, then consider me a challenge because you know me. I'm always challenging everything. I'm always definitely. But Abraham is anointed, right? He's been touched by this universe to do this, incarnated for said reason. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. Phil's been touched by the universe for humor. You can't beat it. It's you know, if you want to learn something, by all means go learn it. And yes, there's a lot of people that's dominating your industry right now that were there first that learned it. And then you fool around and you get an Antonio Smith. This is exactly what happened to me. And then you put that Antonio Smith next to Water Blue. Doesn't matter who it is. And now Antonio Smith then passed Water Blue up, and Water Blue been there for 40 years. Industry standard. Because Antonio in this category is a fish. And you fooled around and put me in water. And you got on scuba gear. You can't beat no fish in no water. No matter if I've been here 2 years. This is my lane. I was born for this. My 2 years is your 40. It just is what it is. Same thing. It's like if I try to go into Ibrahim's category, I'm writing, doing this, I could push out 15. Ibrahim could do 1. And his 1 or make my 15 look like, yeah, that's just penny stocks over there. Right? That's penny stocks. You understand what I'm saying? That's why when I write my articles or my books, I stay in my lane. I'm not writing for entertainment. That's what's taking me so long on these other ones. I'm presenting arguments. And since I know you're going to disagree, I'm going to teach you about this subject and teach you maybe your disagreement shouldn't be founded. And that is my lane. I do that in my sleep. You understand what I'm saying? That's why all my writings tend to be like, here's the subject. Here's what it's about. Here's what they said. Here's what I say. You're stupid. Right now, I'm just joking with the last part, but you get the point, okay? Stay in your lane with whatever you're doing, but always challenging yourself. Now, this other book is a 4-part series that has everything to do with my military intelligence. It does. I'm writing about a dystopian future, a messed up world. Dystopia. Yes, the opposite of utopia. Yeah, a messed up world.
So freaking cool.
To where
I know about that. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, no doubt. To where a fictional country, because I don't want to, don't tell no. Nah, this on the internet, so I'm not gonna say it. To where the fictional America has a different name, gets attacked by an electric magnetic pulse in strategic areas from a fictional country. I won't say which country. And boom, the world goes into chaos because there's no electricity, no food, no medical supplies, no nothing.
Yeah, this is definitely not China and America.
Definitely not about China and America. Definitely not at all. Definitely
but
not.
plenty of members. That is crazy.
Yeah. Leave it to Abraham to figure stuff out. Go ahead, Tippis.
It would be cool if you take that 4-part series book and made a game out of each part.
I done got $2 million ideas.
By the time the book is ready, his kids would be ready to program like games to correspond with them.
Yeah, so right. In fact, they start on the 15th. and I'll have them on games later this year for sure. That's interesting. I sure will do that. I sure will do that. So I need to name the book. I need to name the series. I've got something, but I got it. I'll probably have a name by the day. But it's because all I read, I read a dumb amount of reading a month that nobody ever believes me, and I don't blame them. Print, I've got an astrology print book right here. Just devour that. But I'll try to show you here, and I'm down this month on reading. I'm completely down this month on reading. But here's listening time. So today it says I only read for 15 minutes, but here's monthly. So right here is my Audible monthly reading. Apparently in September, I had 5 hours of reading. So apparently I took off. I was a loser. But if you look at, I'll send a screenshot this time. If you look at December, so you can see it, because it's not going to do what I want to do. I read in Audible alone. So in audio, just on this one app that has nothing to do with what I read for business wise, what I wrote, what I read in books, has nothing to do with that. I read, here's the picture right here, 72 hours and 52 minutes worth of books. That's dumb. And then, so right now in January, I'm somewhere around, looks like 36 hours or something. I'm down this month because I've been programming all month. They know. Everybody with us know. I've been programming all month. I'm down this month. But I can assure you, when I'm stopped reading for competitive advantage, like when my brain gets tired, my release is reading again. It's just reading. I take it off of speed 2.5 or something. I put on speed 1 and I read. It's always the same books, post-apocalyptic or crime or detective series like Alex Cross, things like that, the detective series. But it's always series, and always post-apocalyptic, whether it be zombies or whatever. And I like those. I like those books. They're cool to me. And I figured, I read so many. I could do this. I've read at least 500 post-apocalyptic books. And I figured I'd go ahead and produce my own. Anyway, there you go there. Lastly, the ladies programming. If you are programming with ATS and become an official programmer, computer programming with ATS, would you unmute your mic and say something, even the ones in front of you?
Yes, sir. Programmer in the house.
We are. Whoop, whoop, right here.
All righty. Programmer in the house, number 2.
Got them. So we'll be picking back up here in a little bit. Yesterday was a long day. I went to sleep at 8 o'clock last night. And
Me too.
My brain
out of there.
My brain was fried. That's Tipper's fault. Tipper's did us like that. We doing Tipper's level stuff right now, cybersecurity, and with nobody ready. Nobody but her. So she had our
It never
brain.
sounds like what it's worth.
Well, yeah. Well, for sure, right? So it's crazy. But what I want to do is I've changed our class schedule. And I sent it to y'all. I changed our class schedule because I just want to explain. I sold it to you, but now I want to explain to you why I do some of the stuff I do. I don't mean to change you. Just expect me to change, though. Like, don't think me explaining this is going to stop me. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to, build your hopes up. I'm still going to be a heathen, as Jerome says. So I'm still going to change it. But I changed the order, and it depends on a few things: company needs and your ability. The more you learn, the faster I can go, the harder stuff I can throw at you. And the more you learn, the more your weaknesses are exposed. And the more I say, well, let's go backwards real quick and do these things. So your next class is to be a full stack developer. I know you don't know what that means. Tempest, explain to everybody listening what a full stack developer is.
A full stack developer is someone who develops websites and or software on the front end, meaning the parts that you see and click on that looks pretty, and also on the back end, the parts that you don't see, like the database and where your data is stored and how it works and how not to get hacked.
Exactly. So we're going to show you what this means. We're going to show you what this means right now. I'm going to share my screen. Tim's is going to show you. Here is Facebook. I'm going to log out. So there's Facebook. I'm logging out. Now, there is my page. You understand what I'm saying? It's always got this saying that it's not my how I log in here. But this is how I log in. Tempest, what is this? Actually, tell us what Facebook is clearly trying to do to me right now, since they know I got an account.
Facebook wants you to log in because
Get your
I
ass
can't
back
track
up in
you
here.
on I can't track you right here.
Facebook is saying, look, Facebook is saying, look at this here. Facebook, that is an ugly page. Y'all would never have your home page like that. Facebook, get in here right now. I don't want you to be entertained with nothing on this wall. Do you understand? Get in here and see more. That's Facebook for you. So Tempest, this is the full stack developing on the which end?
This is front end. Front end means what you can see.
All right. Now, I'm sure when you see this here, like everybody's like, this ain't nothing. Well, when you inspect the code, it ain't that much either anyway. Okay. Google though, it has a whole lot on this homepage. Okay. Let's see real quick. Oh, y'all can't even see what I just did. Hold on. I'm gonna share my.
No, it popped up.
It did? Okay, cool. All right, then cool.
Yeah, it took a while, but it popped up.
All right, cool. So we've used page source. Not too bad. Now, when you see that page source, this is all the lines of code on that one. Google page source. Not too bad. Not too bad. And if I go deeper, obviously, then it's billions and billions of lines of code. But nevertheless, this is the front end. Tempest.
They want it loading quicker.
Yes, they sure do. Tempest, when I log in, what happens?
When you log in, Facebook's database is verifying that that's you, that's your correct username, password, and it's giving you authorization. We learned that yesterday.
Yep. And what end is that?
Log into your account.
Right. What is that? Middle, back?
That's back.
That's back. So as soon as you log in, you see the front, but then the back end happens to where you go into the database. It verifies you twice, I believe. It said something. I can't remember. It said something cool. It verifies you twice, though. And then what happens, Tempest, if I forget my password? Where's that at?
And back end.
On the back end. You know what I'm saying? So basically, a full stack developer isn't just making websites. So all of you say, I know how to do a website. You know how to do a website on WordPress because WordPress is automatically handling your back end. But if you're not in your, what they would call cPanel, looking at your index files, I'll show you. Okay, good to go. So here, I'm going to show y'all my Finder folder. Here's my Finder folder. Here's Vibin. Y'all don't, y'all remember Vibin. Here is some stuff and then HTML files, documentation, dashboard. Cool. Is it on the screen yet? Oh, that's I'm moving the lift. Yeah. File folder, right? Boom. Now watch this here. And all these things mean something different. Every last one of them. They all mean something different. So if you're not dealing with this, then you may not be a full stack developer. I'm saying that to say what I told the ladies this morning is every skill set we teach them, here is your average salary for full stack developers. Grace, would you? Would you read?
I'll read. Okay. Dallas, Texas, or a full stack web developer salary by city. Dallas, Texas, the entry level salary average is $58,304. The average of all is $102,531.
Okay, you stop right there, Grace. Damali, you okay with that money?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but if you add it with the Azure certification, 150,000, that's one part of your company. And you say, you know what, we'll go ahead and develop this for you over there. So you got 2 contracts and $250,000. Can you handle that, Frida?
Now we're talking.
Okay.
I can handle that. Yes, I can handle that.
All right. So I changed it because there's something I want to do next. And you need to know that information. Now, that's actually the class y'all taking next, or whatever. The thing I'm teaching you next is actually the first thing I learned. When I first started programming, I learned full stack development. I had no idea what it was. I didn't know. I got thrown into the fire, but that's what I learned. And I'm still, Tempest is better at the back end than me. I need to fix that. I need to get much better. I need to get much better. So ladies, continue to be happy. Y'all still happy? Yes? Yes.
Ecstatic.
Good. We are working out these ladies' computer programming and extending their income ability. Last thing I want to say while we're here, because we're going to hop off. Today is Thursday, so you'll be getting blessed in an hour and a half. Well, last 2 things I want to say. Invite people to this morning call. It's free. Love on people. Give them stuff, because we gave away a bunch of secrets already, and I'm helpful to y'all. Do that, because I hate to have to reorganize this call into something. So please know I do have that call reorganized in my head. And then hold on, let me pause real quick. Let me get Ashley. Go ahead, Ashley. You got some updates for us. We missed those pearly white teeth.
Hey, family. I had to jump off Friday. I was like, let me try to slide back in here and check on y'all and update you guys and let you know what's going on. Hey, Sandy. I'm so grateful to see you guys smiling faces. I am so blessed right now and thankful for ATS and the investment that you all have put into me. It was my responsibility to come in to tell you guys thank you, because it is paying off. I have finally secured my family's income, and I guess I would say the insourcing of contracts for the next 12 months. So I'm grateful for that. And now I am currently working on getting back on social media. I have been in the trenches like a nerd in the dark, on the computer, doing stuff, to filling out documents, paperwork, and getting stuff done and setting up meetings and all that jazz. But I'm ready to show up again. Like Ibram was saying, where have you been? You can't say that to a hostess with a mostess. I was the first a teenager as a hostess with the mostess at church. You have to set the scene. You don't come at my people like that. You got to come in with, hello, welcome to the community of faith. It's so great to see you again. How have you been? Come here, let me hug you. Boy.
When Ashley talks, my unmute button just doesn't work. It's not.
Oh, goodness. I love you, Ibram. And I'm actually, I'm happy you spoke up, because that was another reason why I had to come in to say hello, because I miss you and Antonio's writing skills. I'm going to need some assistance with word copy for getting back on social media and land my stakes again, so that everyone knows what I'm up to, because Just Talk is getting so many good reviews, and I've been sending a lot of Cozy Corner information out that I need updates on details as well, because I've been getting a lot of great reviews and wondering, where did you go? How did you get your book done? And da 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 da, blah blah blah. And so the more information I can get from you, Dee, I will be grateful for that. But I've been getting really great reviews on Just Talk. A grown man sent me a whole paragraph. I was like, oh my goodness, that made my day. I was like, oh my goodness. Women, you're used to them, like, oh my gosh, actually. But when a grown man tell you the book was good and he's purchasing 2 more, it makes your day. So I am definitely grateful for that. All of your continuous accolades on the book or your feedback, I'm definitely grateful for that. So keep them coming. So I'm just grateful. I am continuously moving forward. I don't have a nanny anymore, guys. So this is all me. Like Drake said, came up, it's all me. So say true, that's all me for real. I'm finally getting to a point to be able to hire an assistant soon. So hopefully you guys will see my smiling face more often, because I'll maybe have a little more Emmy. This morning I had to, get up, work out, meditate, and prepare myself to get on this call. Because when you don't have your own hours, you do work in late. But thank you guys for your continued support. I do need assistance with word copy. I do need updates on Cozy Corner as well, because like I said, I am getting feedback from that. And Tempest and Dee, I see you guys have joined the Lock World. I'm a year in now, so I'm looking forward to see what you guys are going to be doing. Y'all probably be to y'all bottom by the time this time next year. So I'm looking forward to see that as well. Hey, ladies. But I just want to come in and say I miss you guys. I'm here. We still good. I still love y'all, but I'm just working hard. I promise.
Good stuff.
And I'm still a phone call away.
Good stuff. We are excited to have you. And of course, everybody loves your energy. Y'all unmute your mics and clap for Ashley, please.
Yes. We miss you, Ashley. We love you, Ashley.
Yes.
Love you too.
We are grateful and excited. Deanna just released a new blog, a new article on Mexit News just now, as Ashley was talking. Right here it is, herbs that help with inflammation. So there you go, right there. I'll let y'all read on your own. The link is in the chat. It'll probably be sent out to you later on. Yes, we will. Deanna, she's going to need some Cozy Corner help, and also all that writing stuff. Just send it to Ibrahim, and we'll work with that as well. If you want your books, that $40,000 ghostwriting thing, if you want your book written from start to finish, we are offering that deal again to where it's $999. So all of you can be blessed. So you take $40,000 up to $991,000. Remember, just to publish your book costs automatically $588.18. There are your itemized breakdown of just that alone. And then Ibrahim cost 15 times more than that, plus all the other stuff. Okay. So there's a deal just for you. It's going to cost me about 2 times more on back end. Not 2 times, maybe. It'll cost me about $1,700 to do each book. So I will personally, or the company will lose $800, but it's worth it because it's spending $800 to speed up your personal brandness that we get to monetize that joy and happiness that comes from that. So am I willing to spend $800 for 5 or 6 people for you to be so happy that you invite them to phone calls? Yeah, of course I am. I got to spend the money anyway, Ashley. If Facebook is already getting ad money, might as well give it to y'all as well, right? I got to spend it anyway. I always have to spend it anyway. My last thing, I forgot what my last thing was, so I ain't got no last thing. So we'll see we'll talk to you all at 10:30 for esoteric other than that, stay alive and continue to eat non-processed foods and stay dramatically, far, emphatically away from white sugar. It is poison. Do these things.
Yes.
And yes, do these things. And if you want, ladies, if you want that track thigh and that nice round bottom, then do 200 squats today. You don't have to use weights. You know, do like I did 50 this morning. I got 50 more left. So yeah, do that right there. And then I'm gonna hit this. I'm gonna hit these weights up here. My stomach is sore because I'm on a decline bench over here, and I got put the 80 pounds in my hands. I got 240s. So while my head is right here, my feet is up there. So I'm like this, and I got 80 pounds, and I'm going up as high as I can doing sit-ups while doing chest all at the same time. And it is painful. And I'm gonna show you, we're gonna end with me showing you what inspired me to do that. And I was minding my business, Sister Booker. I was minding my business. You hear me? On social media. Wasn't even trying to bother nobody. Minding my doggone business. And this sexy chocolate man gonna sit up here and roll across my screen and show me an exercise. And I just said, he got me messed up. And I immediately went to Amazon, spent $70 on the bench, and then had to go ahead and handle him. So I want my body to look like this here, y'all. And if it ain't looking like this here, I done failed. You hear me? I failed. So this is my goal right here. Look at that. Look at that. One day, buddy. One day. I'm getting there. All right. That's what motivated me. So you know what? You got me messed up. So that's what I'm going for. And my stomach hurt right now. And in order to get that, you get that. Which I like that, because when you have a body like that, it proves one thing: you got discipline. Because you can't buy that. Can't buy it. you got to hurt for that. You can't buy it at all. Thank you so much. We'll see you at 10:30. Today's class. That's Todd in the background. That's Todd. Yeah, is that my husband? Actually, is that my husband in the background? Is that
no, that's Eli.
That's Eli.
That's Eli.
Okay. I'm just saying, you better let Todd get some rest.
Those little hands. He got big hands.
Okay. Well, I sent you something this morning. Did you get it? I sent you something.
Oh yes, got it. Received.
Okay, and I included I included what you did too. I hope you didn't mind my integrity. I didn't want you to pay for my responsibilities.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. All right, and I like sending out money. I'll be sending out money to Ibrahim the next day or two. So there you go as well. But thank y'all so much for being here. Tony L. T. Smith Jr., you can't plan better. You can't dominate. All right, everybody, go take your restroom break, and we'll see you at 10:30. Y'all have a good one.